Get strong.
Hey, and welcome to Fat Guy Walks' first ever podcast. This is the podcast Fat Brain, Thin Brain. I wonder if you can guess who's who. Yes, Fat Guy Walks is Fat Brain, and my thin brain is the beautiful Natasha, all the way over there in Denmark. How you doing, Natasha?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you.
What's the time over there, Natasha?
I'm only an hour ahead of you, so we're what, quarter past one?
So she is future Natasha. So she's in the future. She can predict the future, and I'm in the past. But this is a story all about how I restarted my fitness journey. Now, Natasha has been fundamental through all of it. I call her my life coach. I call her my vegan fitness guru, which she takes offense to. But look at her, come on. If anyone can say vegan diet's working, it's obviously Natasha in it. Come on.
I don't take offense to it, but it just feels weird. But I think
it just feels weird getting compliments.
Yeah.
So Natasha's been with me since September. We've known each other for years and years and years. Not been massively close, but for some reason something's brought us together in this kinship that we've got at the moment, and she's been wonderful from afar, which it does help as well, doesn't it? So Natasha, how do you think this journey's going so far for me, from your perspective?
You've obviously got a long way to go, but I think we established this from the get-go that there's a long game to this. It's not a get thing quick process.
No.
And I think you're doing so well, because it's not just about your physical size. This is more about what's going on up here, what's going on in here. Yeah. And essentially this episode that we are talking about, what is fat brain and thin brain? Because this is our first episode, so we need to tell people what exactly it is that we're going to talk about in the podcast. And I think we've had a lot of conversations back and forth, and this is pretty much how it came around, because we are essentially, I've known you for years, not directly, but because I knew your brother through my sister, so it was very indirect, but we've been around, and then you kind of we got together, like you say, very naturally, because I could see you were doing
very, very naturally.
You seem quite interested in my hiking. So my background is I'm extremely active. I do eat a vegan diet. I pretty much do something active nearly every day. I'm into yoga. I do boulder climbing, indoor climbing, rope climbing, hiking.
She does it all.
Yeah, I do.
All right, yeah. Go on, yeah.
And I think I started doing a project throughout when Corona hit, where I was hiking the pilgrim route through Denmark, and you kind of jumped on board of that, like, oh, this looks fun, this looks
amazing,
good,
didn't it? Yeah.
And it really got you thinking about maybe I should start walking. And I think that's what got you walking. And I think that's what's important, is about remembering it's a lifestyle. So if you just sit at home on your sofa and go to Slimming World once a week,
now?
Yeah, it's not going to work. But if you actually get yourself moving, but moving in a way that you enjoy it, that it can be part of your life, and it doesn't feel like, 4 o'clock's coming, I've got to go down the gym and do an hour of slogging in the gym.
The one thing we connected with was the fact that my size would limit me at the start to what I could and couldn't do. And not a lot of people would actually say, walking was a great benefit to you. But when you're the size I was, flipping how, it's a great benefit, isn't it? It was getting my heart rate up. It was doing everything it needed to do, and I was having fun doing it. So,
and I swear by walking. I mean, I do hiking, and when I say I do hiking, I work in kilometers. I'm sorry, I'm metric over here.
Clicks.
So in clicks, So I do anything on a day hike. I can do somewhere between 15 to 30 kilometers, somewhere around that. And that I don't really feel 15 kilometers too much these days. So I do need to walk more. But I think that's what's cool about walking, is that it's a slow gain, but basically the longer your body has to go through enduring movement, then it's really great for low impact. Like you said, we had to think about weight with you, right? So you can't, I can't go, okay, want you to go out and start running every day or doing weights at the gym or whatever.
No,
You
it's
like,
just going to hurt, and I'm going to be disappointed with it because I'm going to be aching, painful, and I just want to get back on the sofa and just munch food. So there's no point to that.
Yeah, you burn out so much in such a short time. You're completely busted. The next day you're going to hurt. Whereas walking, there's a lot of things that come with walking. A, you get the exercise. B, you get some time to yourself and some space to think, be it good thoughts or bad thoughts. You also get to connect with nature. If you're in a city, could be a little bit different. But essentially, you, for example, get down the beach and you will often walk along the seafront. So you get in touch with nature, you get some air into your lungs. And so it's helping you mentally and physically.
Yes.
And I think that's the key here.
This is the key. So this is one of the things that we've learned. My background is I've always been lazy. I've always been fat. It's always someone else's fault. It's never my fault. But in February, me and my partner, we decided that we both needed to change. So we did attend Slimming World. And to start with, I was being a bit of a douche on it. I wasn't eating the right foods. I was still eating takeaways and stuff. And I was exercising a lot, and it was coming off slowly, but it just didn't feel right for me. And then there was a time I went and I busted my gut, basically. I was walking a lot and eating better, and I put 1.5 pounds on. To me, that was the end of the world. And I just felt so disappointed in myself for 2 days. I threw all my toys out the pram, shall we say. And then I thought, there's got to be a better way of doing this. Got to be.
Yeah.
These classes, like we've spoken about, Natasha, already, these classes are good for people that need them classes. But for me, it just wasn't working. And we discussed that, in depth, haven't we? Since?
And they don't talk about how to integrate it into life to keep it in your life, rather than this is just a way to eat until you've lost weight, and then you can do whatever
and it's all about maintaining. No swearing.
No swearing. No swearing.
Yes, potty mouth.
Do whatever you want after that.
Yeah, so
I've gone red.
You have again. Woohoo!
So I must be blushing.
I'm just wearing a hat because it's freezing cold in here. She's in Denmark, by the way. I'm in the UK. It should be colder there than it is here, but it's probably not. And so I was losing a bit of weight there, and obviously I'd done that bad weigh-in, and it gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Natasha, like she said, with a hiking post and stuff, I just took something from it that I thought, that's a bit of me, that is. Obviously, I haven't got such a great place to walk, but my gosh, the seafront where I do walk, even on a grotty day, you see something new every time you're out. It's brilliant. I love it. I've gone from doing a very strenuous 2-mile walk to my most now is just over 10 miles non-stop. So that's no stopping, no breaks, nothing.
And you've really noticed just in 2 months the difference, like you were saying the other day, that when you got back from your
now,
you can go straight up the stairs, whereas you used to have to take a break to get back to your apartment.
So this podcast this episode today is about what we declare a fat brain and a thin brain. And this is what we're going to talk about today and what we declare them as. But the whole theme of this will be different topics per week that affect me. Natasha has her own thoughts on as well. Like, we're going to touch on clothing, going clothes shopping, travel. What else are we going to touch on, Natasha?
Ooh, loads. Just how the difference of how we think. I think that's the main point. Fat brain versus thin brain, like how we think about everyday things, relationships, fitness, the way we look at food, connecting the brain and the heart, and not having this fight or turmoil, or maybe pushing stuff down so you don't feel, and then you maybe comfort eat. And I think actually the motivation for this podcast itself came out of us just having a chat one day. I think you were upset about something. We were talking on the phone. And then
upset?
No. And then you had mentioned about like some bread, like some nice, we were talking about food shopping. And then you
Yes.
mentioned about how you can't food shop for like the week, because otherwise you'll just want to eat all the food as soon as it's in the cupboard. And I thought, I was like, wow, really? Okay, because I food shop for the week, right? And I have 2 little kids as well who will raid the cupboard, you know, and I have to control them because they'll eat a packet of biscuits in a day if I don't say, nah, 2's enough. And then it was exactly that comment where you said about the bread, where I said, yeah, I'm going to have some nice bread here. And you went, yeah, oh, I love a bit of bread. But I'll often, you know, I'll think I'll have 4 or 5 slices. And I went, wait, what? 4 or 5?
Oh, look at that bread over there. So a half a loaf of bread, I'll have 4 or 5 slices of toast, and then I'll get on memory. That's the thing. It's never just
4 or 5. What are you talking about?
Exactly,
like I would 1, maybe 2. Like I would never eat, and it wouldn't even go in my head. And then that kind of made it click for us, like, wow, our brains think very differently.
Completely different.
Yeah. And then we realized about the whole gorging thing. And then that led us on to, wow, we should really talk about other subjects that maybe we differ. And that's where the podcast really got born from.
Hence, fat brain, thin brain.
Yeah.
I then have been thinking about this phrase, fat brain, thin brain, for a while. Mentioned it to the group leader I was with, as I discussed with you, and it was kind of just not thought about, not talked about at all, and anything like that. My thinking, I've lost more weight now in the last 2 months than I've done since February to that 2 months. So that's got to show you something straight away, isn't it?
When you say from February, were you doing Slimming World, or were you
Slimming World from February till September?
Okay.
Well, I've lost more since September than I did on Slimming World.
And just to be clear to everybody, what have you done different in the last 2 months versus what you were doing in Slimming World?
My brain is now changed from fat brain to thin brain.
Okay, but what are you physically doing? Because someone's going to ask that.
Walking every single day.
Yeah.
I try to do 40 miles a week now, which is a lot for someone my size. Imagine my ideal weight is 11 stone. I'm 21 stone at the moment, lost 5 stone. So it's a hell of a lot of me to lug about, basically. And it's the way I think about stuff now is completely different. I would have a glass or 2 of water when I felt hungry, thinking it's probably just dehydration rather than hunger. But I'd never done that before. I would have gone straight in the cupboards, got munch out straight away. Had a sandwich, a 4 slice of bread sandwich, a packet of crisps and a chocolate bar, and then go, maybe I wasn't hungry, maybe I was just thirsty. But now I'm looking at food in a totally different way. You when we had a brainstorming session the other day, you'd eaten far more than I had at that point, hadn't you? And
it was the joke, wasn't it? Because we'd been on WhatsApp for quite couple of hours. And I had actually sat there just scoffing my way through most of
And I had nothing. I had 3 apples. But that's just the way I feel now. That them apples, them apples. Was to me, most people go into a shop. I would go into a shop and get a packet of chocolate bars, 4 for £1. These apples were 6 for £1. And to me, that's my treat of an evening instead of a sugary snack bar. So that's where my brain has changed. It's not fully thin brain yet. It's on the cusp of going over properly, which is what I think is the reason why I'm consistently losing between 4 and 6 pounds per week.
But I think the biggest key in all of this is that you are doing regular exercise every day.
100%. We've both said the best diet book ever is the easiest one. Eat less, exercise more. And it's given me the fact that you know, I'm now, instead of getting buses to the local shopping centre for me, I'm walking there instead. I'm walking to Gunwharf, which, if you know Portsmouth in the south coast at all, you know, from where I am in Southsea, it's not very far, but I'd bus it normally because I was too lazy to do it. But now I don't mind walking anywhere. And like we said, we've set goals in place going forward, which I'll talk about fully in another episode. But there's some amazing goals to come up. There's some, you know, the energy it's given me, the enthusiasm it's given me to get out there every day. And you know yourself, Natasha, I go out rain or shine, and you know I can see different things every day. And it's not a chore. It's enjoyment. And
Mm.
yeah, I mean, you inspired me to do it. Simon Lamb as well. He's encouraged me to do what I'm doing. And then it's just an impouring of people of just saying, you know, well done, and you're doing well, and all that sort of. I'm not doing it for that sort of thing, but
Mm.
it just spurs you along, doesn't it? So, which
Yeah.
you've never felt before, have you? But obviously, we discussed your history, your background the other day, and you know, it was enlightening to me that you could, you know, the way you were told what you were told when you were at school and things like that. And you know, I had the same thing, but the totally opposite way,
Mm.
and it affected us both, didn't it?
Yeah, I think your
So,
upbringing affects people in different ways, right? And
exactly. So
you know,
again, another
yeah,
thing we talk about later on, but you know, this is not about us trying to tell you guys that this
no,
is what you need to do. We're not going to be regimental about it. It's just another thinking along the lines of weight loss. It's working
exactly.
for me. Natasha is really, really good. She's got some great ideas. And yeah, it's just a connection of two brains going in the right direction.
And I think what people can expect from listening to our podcasts is kind of like it's the insight into how a fat brain versus a thin brain. It's actually very hard for me as a thin person to say the word fat because it's drilled into us so much that it's basically I feel like I'm insulting you every time I say it because
Yeah,
it's
tell the
drilled
audience
into
members
me, right? Like I can't go up to someone and go, "Wow, you're really fat," because that's
what did
really
I
it's
want.
really
Yeah,
insulting.
what
So
did I
fat
want
brain.
to originally call the show?
Yeah, you wanted to call it fat brain, skinny brain, and I
And again, I didn't think the word skinny was a bad thing, but
mm,
you said yourself it is a horrible side for you, and you
yeah.
know, and skinnier people never thought about it ever.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
because I
I
don't
don't.
consider myself skinny, right? Like
Yeah.
I will use the word skinny, but to me skinny is an extreme, like an
Yes. Of
anorexic.
course. Yeah.
And that's what I consider
And
skinny.
fatty bum bum is a. I'll happily call myself that. It's fine. I am a
Yeah.
fatty bum bum, but I'm on a journey to get less
You're
fatty bum bum.
cuddly. You're cuddly, Lewis.
Yeah, I'm getting to that stage. Yeah, I'm cuddly and nice. But you know, later on we'll discuss the clothes shopping side of things and all that sort of stuff. But the way where I've come from, it's now I'm in clothing that hasn't fit me for ages and all that sort of stuff. So that to me means more to me than the scales do sometimes, because obviously, you know, the connection with the scales shouldn't be the be all and end all. It's about inches and how you feel
I
and
mean, there's
stuff. So
loads of things. Like we're going to have episodes that cover so many topics
yeah,
because through our talking, I found out like you don't have a mirror in your house because you
no,
hated looking at yourself.
hmm
I don't have scales in the house because I
no,
don't believe in weighing yourself every week because I feel like that's torturing yourself.
of course, yeah,
So there's little things that we realize, wow, okay, we differ in this way, and
yin and
we're like,
yang,
oh
yeah,
my god, we need to put that out there because I don't think people realize that we literally
no,
have this black and white way of thinking.
yeah.
I think as well, what we're trying to do is inspire people. We're not trying to say you're fat, you need to
Yeah,
change.
that's the
We're
key.
trying to
Yeah,
inspire people to say there's a better way, and we want to help you find that way.
and it's
But
free.
and everything that we say comes from a place of love and
Yes.
support, and I think that's what we're trying to
Yeah.
do is just be supportive because you well way more than me because it's your transformation that's really on show for the world on social media. You've been getting contacted by people asking you to help with, could you help me with losing weight, and what are you eating, and what do I need to
Yeah, which
change? And
like I said to you, it feels odd because I'm still chubby, but obviously they're seeing the results,
because it's
and
inspirational.
yeah,
Mm,
it makes me feel good. Like I said to you the other day, I did feel a bit of pressure, and I was like, oh, maybe what if I let people down and all that sort of stuff? But I know I won't because I'm
mm,
on the right path. It was a
yeah.
slight blip, but that's to do with something else that's wrong as well. But it was a slight blip, and it's like, wow. And I got a message from someone the other day, openly on my Instagram account, and that just made my day. It was brilliant, and
Mhm.
I never thought I'd get anything like that. And to get someone saying what they said, you can go and check it out at Fat Guy Walks. And you can see, you know, that it's actually making an effect on someone, and that was brilliant, fantastic. So,
and what does that
yeah.
do for you, like on the inside?
On the inside, crumbs. If I was a non-macho hunk of a man like I am, then I would have had a little tear and whatnot. But it did make me feel a bit.
You went to the bathroom and you had a tear, didn't you? Instead,
I had a little bit of a soppiness. Yeah, might have done. It was nice, and we, me and the person have been in contact, and she's similar sort of age to me. I'm nearly 41, and she's been struggling as well, and she's just taken some of my advice and some of my ways of thinking, and she's got out and walked, rain or shine, with her dog. And it's brilliant. It really is good. And
I think we're going to be having quite a good deep look into emotional and psychological issues, as well as fitness and nutrition. So I think we're going to cover everything. I mean, neither of us are qualified nutritionists, fitness gurus,
exactly,
psychologists. We're not. We're just normal people who realized we think differently, but we inspire one another, and just through having support. And we thought, well, if we could just give that to people, and open up a place where people are supported for their weight, where it's not like going into somewhere like Weight Watchers, where you put a pound on this week and then you feel terrible because you felt like you were actually doing really well that week. And it can take you from feeling amazing to hitting rock bottom. And I mean, obviously we'll go into our lives a bit more in later episodes, but for you, I mean, it's not going to be a secret as we go through these podcasts that you are on antidepressive medicine, yet you can still go from feeling great and high to being in tears just by being told you didn't do well this week. 1 pound.
Exactly, and then
that could be water, that could be muscle, that could be
a host of things.
You forgot to pee before you went in.
Didn't have a poo. Anything. My poos are heavy, so that's it. I am a trained buffoon. I'm not a trained nutritionist, but well, later on in future podcasts as well, because we are young. We're a young podcast. It's the very first episode. We would like.
You meant I was young. Like, we're young.
You're not at all.
We're halfway through our life now.
We would love audience participation, wouldn't we? We would like everyone to get involved, and we're going to have a Facebook page,
social media, where people can.
And we're doing all these recordings through Zoom. So if you wanted to come on the Zoom call with us, we'd actually add you on the Zoom call, and you could put your 2 cents worth in as well, which is great. So
we're going to be having people as well, like guest speakers.
With some actual medical history and background. Not everyone will be. There'll be some fitness people on there. There'll be some, lots of other people that we can connect with through this time and this weird time, isn't it? 2020 has been a weird year, as we all know. We all need an uplift, and we hope that our stupidity, our messages that go through, and we go from laughter to talking about somber things as well. We can do it all. So hopefully it gives you a laugh. Hopefully you connect with us.
I can be a bit of a crier, so maybe people will want to watch this.
You can. Is that why your face is red?
It may be. I don't know. It's like I've been out in the sun. It's honestly the most dreariest grey day today.
I didn't know if you put blusher on or something just for the Zoom. So that's it. So
a bit heavy on the makeup.
How are we doing? Do you want to sign us off, Natasha? And any thoughts before we go? Or
no, I think, to be honest, the point of podcast today was to get out there about what we are about, what people can expect to get from the podcast, and who we are and where we come from and where we're going to go with it. So,
and we're looking forward to many, many more, aren't we, Natasha?
Yes.
Yeah,
we got nothing else to do. It's Corona. We're all stuck at home.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
unemployed.
You'll get to see more and more hats from me, and probably a lot more cats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, then.
This is me, Lewis, signing off. Natasha, speak soon.
Yeah,
Adios, amigos.
Bye.